What's going on, guys? Welcome to your second stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and stimulus negotiation news report for Friday, October 9th. Yes, we are already to October 9th. Today, we have more good news regarding the second stimulus checks and the stimulus package. First, let me catch you up on what has happened over this past week. This week has been crazy. Has been full of updates. It has been full of ups and downs. I want to catch you up so that you know currently where we are at. First, on Monday, stimulus talks were going great. Nancy Pelosi said a deal is imminent. She really meant it. Steve Mnuchin, he said stimulus talks were going very well. We heard from others. They were saying stimulus talks were going rather slowly, but we were making progress. Well, on Tuesday, we still heard in the early mornings stimulus talks were going good. They are still making progress. However, President Trump decided to call off stimulus talks, and he told his representative, Steve Mnuchin, to stop negotiating until after the election, stating Nancy Pelosi was not negotiating in good faith, and it seemed like she did not want to accept a deal either way. Well, a few hours later, on Tuesday, President Trump called on Congress to pass standalone stimulus bills. One for the airlines, one for small businesses, and another one for the $1,200 stimulus checks. Well, that didn't happen, and on Wednesday, Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin were back discussing a bill for the airline industry, a $28.8 billion stimulus bill, a standalone bill. Well, on Thursday, yesterday, Nancy Pelosi said she will not pass a standalone stimulus bill for the airline industry. Also on Thursday, President Trump says stimulus negotiations are back on. And today, we have stimulus talks getting closer and closer, and more pieces of legislation are being agreed upon verbally. Now, I say verbally because this has not been written. Yes, there may be notes. There may be a notepad and a pen, and Steve Mnuchin's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, we'll probably do that. Nancy Pelosi, she has hers, and she's like, oh yeah, we want this and that, and that's all they're doing right now. This is not a bill. It's not even a proposal yet. It's a verbal agreement. So I want to be clear with that, because with verbal agreements, there is a higher chance of a deal just completely breaking down. Now, this is where we are currently at, and things are looking promising for future stimulus. First off, a few reports that I read earlier this morning are saying if stimulus talks continue on the path they are going without a sudden and complete breakdown, then this will ultimately lead to a complete stimulus package right before the election. Remember, we are like 25 days away from the election. Don't quote me on that number, but I believe we're like 25 days away from the election. So it's a big time. We have a little bit over 3 weeks to get this done. On Thursday, so yesterday, Nancy Pelosi said this, an exact quote: I have been open to having a standalone bill for airlines, but there is no standalone bill without a bigger bill. Why should we do one, not the other? The comment that I made to the administration was, we're happy to review what that standalone bill would look like as part of a bigger bill, if there is a bigger bill. But there is no standalone bill. What she is essentially saying right here is she was happy to look at a bill if it was part of a bigger project, a bigger number, a package. So here, she's ultimately saying that she will only do a quick standalone bill for whatever reason if there's a larger bill to follow to address the other issues of the American people. This is good news, because one standalone bill for the airline industry and for $28.8 billion would not meet the needs of the American people. It would only be a temporary fix for the airline industry. Now, I get it. A lot of people were very upset when I was reporting, and other people were reporting this as well, that the only standalone bill that was being discussed was for the airline industry. Many people were understandably upset, because why is the airline industry more important than the American people, than unemployment, than rental assistance, than schools, the United States Postal Service? Why is it so much more important? Is it because that's what President Trump wants to give money to his friends in the airline industry? We just don't know. But Nancy Pelosi, she said she would only look into a standalone bill if there was another bill, a larger bill, that was to follow. So because of that, President Trump had to change course. This was part of the reason why there was miscommunication relayed to President Trump. President Trump initially thought that Nancy Pelosi would agree to standalone bills if they could not come to an agreement on a complete package. That was where all the miscommunication started from. Was President Trump thought, based on what he heard from Mark Meadows and Mitch McConnell, that Pelosi was open to standalone bills. So he shut it all down. Well, now we're back open, because that was not what Nancy Pelosi said. And even Steven Mnuchin was not on the phone call to address those issues. President Trump was actually talking to the wrong people. Based on all reports, Steven Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi will be working on the language for the upcoming stimulus package today, and most likely over the weekend. What will most likely happen is they will exchange documents to outline the verbiage, the language of the stimulus deal. And also, one of the things that they're going to do is they want to justify, or at least Republicans want Nancy Pelosi and Democrats to justify the numbers, justify why money is going to this place or to that place, why cannabis banking is so important. Justification at this point is crucial. But again, expectations are that the stimulus talks will move forward rather slowly as a deal gets close to being finalized. Also, what I anticipate as we move forward is that this deal is going to get very close, and then right before it passes, right before we get an agreement, there will be a final push from all of our leaders. That includes President Trump, Mitch McConnell, who we've not heard from in a while, and Nancy Pelosi. Those are the three people that we need on board at this point. If they are not on board, they are not collected, they're not agreeing on everything, then the deal could again fall apart. Right now, here's the really good news. The good news, or great news, however you want to look at this, is that these are the things they have already agreed upon. There are some things, again, going back to the language and the verbiage, depending on what it is, these are the things that they have ultimately agreed upon and are moving forward with, and surrounding the package with other items. Now, first one is $1,200 stimulus checks, $500 for all dependents. We have a rental assistance, which is crucial, food assistance, which is very much needed, United States Postal Service funding, which again is very important, PPP funding, which is again needed because businesses can't open, don't want to open, if their employees are getting paid all of their profits and the business is just losing. And we also have school funding, which is critical at this time. So right now, it seems that there is only minor details to be worked out, but those details are extremely important when dealing with trillions of dollars. Now, in other news, which is a little bit shocking to some, but to some it's not, Nancy Pelosi plans to talk with House Democrats today about the 25th Amendment and possibly removing President Trump from office over health reasons. Well, this will not go over very well with President Trump and the Trump administration, especially leading it up to the election. This is actually being reported by multiple media outlets as a last-ditch effort to sabotage Trump's re-election campaign, even though some of his actions lately have been somewhat questionable. Nancy Pelosi stated this as soon as he called off stimulus negotiations, that it must be the meds. Well, We don't know if it is the meds. We don't know what is happening. But what we know right now is things will eventually get better. Hopefully sooner than later. So now, I don't know what will happen over the weekend, but I can promise you I will keep you updated as I learn more. I do have to take a business trip. So right after I upload this video, I will be taking a business trip over the next few days. So any updates that I give you, I will be updating you from the road. So if you want to stay updated, again, thank you guys for watching my videos. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Click that subscribe button down below so I can keep you updated on everything that's going on. So again, if you have any questions regarding stimulus, please ask your questions down in the comment section. I will get to them as soon as I can. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.